Every single Armenian family has a story of tragedy that leads to the Armenian genocide.
Because the 1915 Armenian genocide was never recognized and Turkey never really paid the price for it.
Everywhere we look around the world where there's turmoil and war, people use excuses to oppress and ethnically cleanse different communities.
We saw history repeat itself in 2020 and 2023 with the ethnic cleansing and genocide of Armenians from their ancestral homeland in Artsakh, which is currently being illegally occupied by the Republic of Azerbaijan.
You've seen it in Rwanda, you've seen it in Bosnia, you've seen it in numerous places, including the Holocaust, which obviously everyone knows about.
A through line in terms of how we thought about being Jewish was our history of persecution, culminating obviously in the Nazi Holocaust during World War II. 6 million, that was a number we heard constantly. But through all this time, all the years I was growing up, I literally never heard anybody mention the Armenian genocide.
The effects of the genocide is multi-generational. My family tree goes up to my grandparents only.
The start of genocide is teaching that somebody is actually beneath you or not worthy of the life and the land that they occupy.
Mass killing, mass deportation, annihilation of a race.
People are capable of committing these types of horrors, which we've seen time and again throughout history, in part because there hasn't been proper recognition and reaffirmation and restitution.
They took the children away, the orphans basically. They change your name, they change your religion, they take your culture away, they take your heritage away. They want you to become one of them.
So I'm a descendant of genocide survivors on both sides of my family, and when I say survivors, it's also important to note that many more perished. So those who survived, my great-grandparents, my grandparents, were the few in their family. Sometimes out of a family of 70, only a dozen survived.
My family is no different. My grandfather was left an orphan at the age of 4, put in charge of his 2-year-old brother alone, and unfortunately, he lost touch with that 2-year-old brother of his. To this day, we don't know what happened to him, whether he survived, whether he was killed, drowned in the Euphrates River, we don't know.
My great-grandmother, while she lost her entire family and became the orphan of a genocide, ended up leading a full life as a single mother, raising her children, while also being an activist.
My grandfather was one of them, and he and his little sister escaped. They're from Kars and Ardahan area, and along the way, they got separated. They never saw each other after that. And decades later, my father found his cousins, his aunt's children, in Iraq. So they got separated and went to 2 different countries.
Now I know, of course, the connection between the Armenian genocide and the Holocaust, and I understand now fully how Hitler was emboldened by the fact that the world community basically shrugged their shoulders at the mass slaughter and starvation of Armenians in 1915.
These are the pains and the wounds that Armenians carry with us to this day. And it makes it even more difficult knowing that the perpetrators of the crime, not only are they not held to justice, but they still deny that these horrible acts of inhumanity occurred.
It's very important for me to remember the Armenian genocide because it's a way of remembering my family's history and also ensuring that my son and future generations recognize what others went through for them to be here today.
We remember because genocides don't happen in a vacuum. One enables the next. People often think, it won't happen here, it won't happen now. This is something of the past. This is something that happens to others. But we know the patterns, and we know that it can happen now. It is happening now, and it can happen here, and it can happen to us.
It's important that we continue to fight, to advocate, to rally, so Turkey is held accountable for its misdeeds.
Genocide awareness means telling the story of my great-grandmother, who was the only survivor from her family, and keeping her memory alive along with those that perished during the Armenian Genocide of 1915.
And it's not just for Armenians, even more importantly, for non-Armenians to know what happened in Armenia during those years.
Being Armenian isn't just about commemorating the Armenian Genocide, but it's about celebrating survival. It's about reminding the world that we are still here, that those who tried to perpetrate the genocide failed.
Fourth generation later, my children are still here. We are still here. We survived.
We want justice, nothing more and nothing less.
I should like to see any power of the world destroy this race, this small tribe of unimportant people whose wars have all been fought and lost, whose structures have crumbled, whose literature is unread, whose music is unheard, whose prayers are no longer uttered.
Go ahead, destroy Armenia. See if you can do it.
Send them into a desert without bread and water.
Burn their homes and churches.
Then see if they will not laugh, sing, and pray again.
For when two of them meet anywhere in the world, see if they will not create a new Armenia.